Ever wondered where the Halloween tradition originated from? Well, it all began with an ancient Celtic festival called Samhain. This festival marked the end of the harvest season and the beginning of the darker half of the year, a time that was often associated with death by the ancient Celts. The Samhain festival was celebrated on the night of October 31st, a time when it was believed that the veil between the world of the living and the world of the dead became blurred. The Celts, who lived more than 2,000 years ago, believed that on this night the ghosts of the dead returned to earth. These spirits were thought to cause trouble and damage crops, but they also made it easier for Celtic priests, or druids, to predict the future, a source of comfort and direction during the long, dark winter ahead. To commemorate the event, the Druids built giant sacred bonfires where people gathered to burn crops and animals as sacrifices to the Celtic deities. During the celebration, the Celts wore costumes, typically consisting of animal heads and skins, and attempted to tell each other's fortunes. When the festivities were over, they relit their hearth fires from the sacred bonfire to help protect them during the coming winter. These practices that were started by the Celts all those centuries ago have heavily influenced the Halloween we know today. The costumes we wear, the bonfires we light, the spooky stories we tell, all have their roots in the ancient Samhain festival. In fact, the very concept of Halloween, the night when the boundary between the living and the dead is blurred, comes directly from the beliefs of the ancient Celts. So, the next time you put on a Halloween costume, remember, you're participating in a tradition that dates back over 2,000 years. It's a tradition steeped in ancient beliefs and practices, one that continues to evolve yet still retains its fascinating origins. Indeed, the spirit of Samhain lives on in the Halloween we celebrate today. As centuries passed, Halloween underwent a transformation due to Christian influence. We find ourselves in the 8th century, a time when the Christian Church sought to replace pagan festivals with Christian observances. A momentous decision was made to establish All Saints' Day on November 1st. This day was dedicated to honor the saints and martyrs of Christian faith. The night before this holy day, the boundary between the living and the dead was believed to be blurred, similar to the ancient Celtic belief during Samhain. This was the eve of All Hallows' Day, the day of all the holy ones, and it came to be known as All Hallows' Eve. Over time, and with a little linguistic legerdemain, All Hallows' Eve was shortened, giving birth to the term we all know and love, Halloween. But the story doesn't end there. As the centuries rolled on, this Christian observance began to merge with the ancient Celtic traditions of Samhain. The bonfires, costumes, and masks used to ward off spirits during Samhain found a place in the All Hallows' Eve celebrations. The belief in spirits roaming the earth was replaced with more Christian-centric beliefs, but the essence of warding off evil persisted. This blending of Christian and Celtic traditions was not a quick or easy process. It took centuries of cohabitation, negotiation, and adaptation, but it was this lengthy process that allowed Halloween to become the rich tapestry of customs and traditions it is today. From the ancient Celtic practice of lighting bonfires and wearing costumes to ward off spirits, to Christian observances honoring saints and martyrs, Halloween has always been a festival that straddles the line between the living and the dead. It's a night when the veil between our world and the next is thinnest, a night for honoring those who have passed and celebrating the life that continues. Halloween, as we know it today, is a blend of Christian observance and ancient Celtic traditions. It's a holiday that has evolved and adapted over the centuries, carrying with it a rich history that continues to be celebrated and explored year after year. Halloween wasn't always celebrated in America, so how did it get here? The answer lies in the great waves of immigration that shaped the United States during the 19th century. Halloween, with its roots entwined in ancient Celtic traditions, Christian observances, and European folklore, was brought to American shores by immigrants from Ireland, Scotland, and other European nations. The early Protestant settlers that laid the foundations of colonial America had little room for such a celebration. Their strict religious beliefs dismissed Halloween as a superstitious, pagan tradition. But as the 19th century rolled in, so did the immigrants, each bringing a piece of their homeland, their culture, and their traditions with them. Irish and Scottish immigrants, fleeing famine and seeking a better life, brought with them the Halloween customs of their Celtic ancestors. They carried tales of Samhain, the ancient festival marking the end of harvest season and the cusp of winter. They spoke of a night when the veil between the living and the dead thinned, allowing spirits to walk the earth. To ward off these spirits, they would dress in costumes, light bonfires, and perform rites. At first, the celebration of Halloween remained a cultural enclave, practiced mainly within immigrant communities. But the seeds had been sown, and slowly Halloween began to germinate in the fertile soil of American culture. The traditions that were once viewed as foreign and superstitious began to blend with American customs. Halloween started gaining acceptance, morphing into a celebration that reflected the diverse melting pot culture of America. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Halloween had evolved from a fringe tradition into a community-centered holiday. It became a time for parties, parades, and festivities, a time for communities to come together, to share in the revelry, and to partake in the spirit of Halloween. So, the Halloween we know and love today is very much an immigrant, much like many of our ancestors. It's a testament to how traditions can travel, evolve, and ultimately become part of the cultural fabric that binds us together. Halloween in America, much like America itself, is a beautiful blend of diverse customs and traditions, each contributing to the rich tapestry of its celebration. From a community-centered holiday to a festival of costumes and candy, Halloween has certainly evolved. As the autumn leaves began to fall and the air turned crisp, communities across the United States would come alive with the buzz of Halloween celebrations. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Halloween had transformed into a holiday centered around community spirit, with vibrant parties, lively parades, and various festivities. Perhaps the most treasured tradition that emerged during this time was trick-or-treating. Children, decked out in a vast array of costumes, would go from door to door, their eyes shining with excitement as they chanted the age-old mantra, "Trick or treat." This phrase, a playful ultimatum to hand over treats or face a harmless prank, became the anthem of Halloween night. But of course, Halloween wouldn't be complete without the costumes. Costumes are the heart and soul of Halloween, the key to transforming into someone or something else for a night. Whether you're a traditionalist who prefers to stick with the classic ghosts and ghouls, or you're a trendsetter choosing to emulate your favorite pop culture icon or superhero, the possibilities are endless. And let's not forget the decorations. Homes and yards across the country transform into otherworldly spaces adorned with jack-o'-lanterns, cobwebs, and other spooky delights. Some people prefer a more festive approach, with pumpkin patches and autumnal displays, while others lean into the eerie side of things, creating haunted houses that send shivers down the spines of passers-by. The creativity doesn't stop there. In recent years, there has been a surge of interest in DIY costumes and homemade decorations. These allow individuals to showcase their imagination and artistic flair, adding a personal touch to the holiday. From the early days of simple masquerades and bonfires, Halloween has blossomed into a celebration of creativity, community, and of course, candy. It's a time when the ordinary becomes extraordinary and the impossible seems just within reach. Whether you're into spooky or silly, Halloween has something for everyone. Today, Halloween has grown beyond its traditional roots to become a global phenomenon. In the United States, the holiday's commercialization is evident everywhere you look. Retailers stock up on an extensive range of Halloween-themed merchandise, from costumes and decorations to candy and party supplies. This commercialization has played a significant role in shaping the Halloween experience, making it accessible and enjoyable for people of all ages. But the influence of Halloween doesn't stop at the US borders. The holiday's popularity has been on a steady rise worldwide. Countries across the globe have started to embrace the spooky spirit, hosting their own Halloween-themed events and adopting traditions like dressing up and trick-or-treating. This global popularity of Halloween is a testament to its universal appeal, its ability to bring communities together in a spirit of fun and creativity. From ancient Celtic rituals to global celebration, Halloween continues its reign as the spookiest, most creative holiday of the year.